guess I should have tightened this before I got started, but whatever. Alright. I need some music and my headphones plugged in. Yeah, alright. Stuff I should have had done already. Alright. That's looking good. Go over to this for now. Okay. Genres, albums. Oh, geez. It's a little loud. I forget how long the transition's supposed to be. I'm guessing not very long. Okay, let's see here. How is everyone doing today? Did anyone see the news about next week? It's pretty exciting. Once there's some more people here, I have a couple of questions about the big announcements that we're going to be hearing next week, and what kind of stuff people would be interested in knowing about the updates once we all figure it out, and I can clarify some stuff with that. Did we really crash on just the save? All right. Hey, how are you doing? Did you guys see the updates or like the announcements? Yeah, I put my phone on silent. I'm pretty excited about it. Oh, you didn't? So next Monday, well, depending on where you're at in the world. Here, hold on, let me pull it up. Next Monday, they're going to be talking about the next big release. So your camera seems stuck. My camera? It's frozen? Oh, look at that, it is. It's still frozen, huh? Oh, wait, there we go. Well, alrighty then. Yeah, it should be good. And so, like, my question is, since I'm now getting back into, like, the swing of things, and making content more frequently now, I guess with all of the updates coming and stuff like that, should I focus on a lot of the updates, or should we just... I mean, I'm going to kind of focus on it, but I'm not too sure what aspects, because with how long it's been, I'm going to guess that every single page that they've added something onto. So I was just curious, out of all of the pages, who uses what the most, and where I should primarily focus on, building out projects showing how to use all the new tools that they'll be announcing. Because I know, like, everyone's not going to, like you see in here when you go into, like, the reference manual. And this thing is... So this is the current one for DaVinci Resolve 16. It's 3,500 pages. So when they... when they announce, I'll go through, like, the whole thing, and I'll see like what all the new updates are and stuff, and then I'll dive into those pages. But I was just kind of curious where the majority of the community uses, so then I can focus on those things, showing off all the new updates. Because I mean, I'm guessing that they were going to probably announce DaVinci Resolve 17 at NAB in April, but since NAB was canceled, I remember that they did an update right at the same time that NAB was happening about, like, a piece of hardware. It was like one of the switchers, I believe, at that point, and they... I remember asking someone if, like, that was the only thing that they were going to be announcing, and then I was told, like, no, there's going to be a lot more that's going to be announced. But then there was nothing more that was ever announced. So I'm guessing that they had DaVinci Resolve 17 ready at that time, but with no one else in the industry advertising or like promoting, like, a new big thing, that they just kind of sat on it for a little bit and did more, like, updating and tuning. And hopefully that means, like, 17 doesn't have a lot of bugs. So I guess only time will tell with that. But we'll see where, like, what all was added and, like, what new features that are implemented. I'm hoping it's not another page like the cut page, because... I mean, I personally didn't use it much. There were some people that used it, but it wasn't really something that the community was asking for, and there were so many other things that the community was asking for. Hold on a second. I thought I was going to sneeze. There were so many things that the community was asking for at the time, and hopefully this update added a whole bunch of those things. But I guess we'll see. All right, what have people been saying here? I'm doing an audio file in DaVinci Resolve for version 17. I am so not sure what that means. Alright, how do you... So there's a couple of different ways that you can export editable formats to go back into Premiere. You can do, I think they're called EDL. Oh geez, it's been a while since I've done this. Hold on one second. Hold on a second. I know you can export back to DaVinci Resolve, or not DaVinci Resolve, the XML. But hold on a second, because I kind of forget how to do it. I just gotta watch what pops up here. Wait, that's import, but export. All right, so why can't I do that? Am I on the wrong page to do that? Is that why? Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, so you would come into here, export, XML. Hold on a second, I gotta make sure that nothing crazy comes up. And then this Final Cut Pro XML, you can export that, and Premiere will be able to open that. But the thing to note, when you're going from one editor to another editor, the only things that will copy over are very simple things. So if you are using complex stuff within one editor and you try to take it over to another, like if you're using different effects and stuff like that, obviously that stuff's not going to copy over. But simple cuts will, simple zooms, simple crops, pretty much. And I don't want to say this 100%, but pretty much anything that's in the inspector without the effects. Like, so if you were to come in and, you know, try to use like one of these open effects, obviously that stuff won't. But it's just simple, like sequences you can, or timelines, or whatever you want to call them. But that's how you do it. You would use the Final Cut XMLs. I really want to learn Fusion. I don't see many tutorials on it. If you go to my website, and click on lessons, actually just go full screen, and then you can come in here to Fusion. There's tons and tons. There's 6. I don't know how much is on each page, but there's 6 pages of it. So you can learn to do tons of different things. There's an idea. Using all sorts of different tools. Everything that I do in here can be done. Everything that I do on my website and in my YouTube channel, everything can be done in the free version. Obviously, the studio version as well. But yeah, you give that a try and learn some stuff. Majority of the stuff is like kind of simple, like motion effects, but it gives you an idea on how to, if you've never used Fusion before, like how to connect nodes and how the nodes work, and the different types of settings that you'll see in nodes, and how to add additional settings within nodes. So like in here, modifiers grayed out, but you could add a modifier to all of these to modify that particular value. So like I come into here, this is text, right? So this is like a string in the coding world, and you could right click, and then there's a ton of different modifiers that you could do within that. And a lot of those videos go into those different modifiers and how to get more advanced stuff than what you see on, you know, the initial stuff within the inspector and going through the different pages. How long have I been using Resolve? That's a great question. I want to say 2014. 2014 is when I started using it. Okay, I like that. So I'm guessing the quick overview will go a long way in deep dives into editing Fusion Color. Okay, yeah, because I'm guessing that there's going to be updates to everything. And then we'll see if they add a whole bunch of new stuff as well. So I bet there'll be a bunch of like little like a bunch of little like quality of life updates, and then there'll probably be a bunch of big features, but only time will tell. They've had quite a long time to work on it, so we will see. You use the cut page for multicam stuff. Do you see mine? I don't even have the cut page anymore. I got rid of it. I don't use it. It's just, I've been editing one way for so long, it's hard to attempt to try to use it, because I feel like anytime that I want to do one thing, I'm like, oh, I can't find that tool. And then I come to find out that doing different effects, there isn't like an area to change those settings. All right, let's see. Yeah, I have no idea how max performance is going to be. I'm going to guess that max performance is going to be really good, because I believe Blackmagic partnered up with Apple with like the release of the Mac Pro. So obviously I think they're working together to make Mac OS run Resolve really well. And then, I mean, my Mac kind of got a little wet, and I've had issues with it since, so I might have to get another one, because I like to be able to test my stuff on both platforms. H.265 decoder would be nice for the free version. Does it only, now when you say for the free version, do you mean like, I don't really ever film in that, so is there an H.265 decoder for the paid version, just not the free version? Because I think if it's going to be behind a paywall like that, that means that they put a large amount of time into getting that implemented, and those are typically the things that they keep between the free and the paid. I'm not sure what Wave plugins are. Sorry, I'm not really helpful in that. You could render it out at its native resolution and just upload it. I have stuff that's not like this is the only issue with rendering stuff out that isn't 16:9. Let me go into my channel and I'll show you. Oh, what video is that? And I didn't know this until after everything happened. You can't add like an end screen or whatever they call it, but I don't remember how to even add it. Oh yeah, right here. Oops, that's not it. So like this, you can't do it because the aspect ratio isn't supported. That was like the only issue with exporting it, but you can export it. Should be able to export it at any resolution. Hold on a second. I gotta blow my nose. 1 second. Okay. And the other thing that I would say is 1080. I don't know if you've ever done this, but if you take a clip and you upload it at 1080 versus 1440, like how I'm streaming now, the amount that they add compression onto like a normal 1080 clip is insane. It looks 10 times better if you do a little bit more than 1080, because they'll bump up the bit rate for the video when they ingest it. Hey, if you guys are using the cut page, I don't want to bash on it, but by all means, if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. It's just a different way of editing that I'm not really used to. So if it works for you, that's freaking amazing. All right, so I've used IOFrame before, but I have something really funny to show you. Hold on a second. Let me go over to my Twitter. So, I gotta be logged in. Hopefully this answers it for you. So, in 2019, I asked about if they would ever be adding on the ability for Blackmagic Raw, and they said that they would, right? And it wouldn't be that long. So then, where is there a date on this? A year later, I then asked them again, patiently waiting, and then the next day they posted it. I thought that was freaking hilarious. So I do use them. I don't know what exactly you were asking, but yeah, I found that to be really funny. But Frame.io, I always use for doing like remote work. It's a bit different. So, depth of field in Fusion already exists. So, I mean, it's already a thing, and you can, if you ever need to. So if I get like a camera and a renderer, right, and we set this up, in here, I can go output, and I can output my Z, and then I can map to Z to get, I can map Z to do depth of field with a normal 2D blur. I actually did it with, hold on, I'll show you. Let's come over here. With the last product that I put up on the website, I did it with. But hold on a second. I'm switching over. So if I'm not mistaken, this is pretty much what you're talking about, right? So obviously this is stupid simple. I have my cameras that are just mapping my depth, right? And then from that, well, I'm doing a couple different things, but from that, then you can add the blur. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. And you could also do multi-passes in, EXRs? Open EXRs? And you could have that information in those as well. I feel like I missed a bunch of messages going over that though. Is Resolve paid? Ever on sale? I don't think people have deals on it. But I think that would come down to the seller. So you can go to Blackmagic's website. And then come to resellers. And then just find resellers in your area, and then you can look to see if they have deals. I have no idea if there's something that states that they can't have a sale or something that I have no idea. But that would come up to the resellers, since Blackmagic doesn't do direct sales. So, I guess now that there's more people in here, what do people primarily use DaVinci for? Are people primarily, well, I guess in here, are you guys coloring with it? Do you guys play around with compositing in Fusion? Are you guys making motion graphics? Are you primarily just an editor, or are you doing some type of sound design? I want a little bit of insight on what everyone does in here so that I have a better idea of where to set my focus for with the release of the new, or the new big release of DaVinci. Okay, so editing Fusion color, editing MoGraph, editing motion, editing mostly, editing color editing, okay. Edit, pause and edit color audio. Okay, so you're still doing all your animations. One question for you about the animation thing. Are you doing stuff that you have some type of like skeleton? Are you like posing stuff? Is that why you're using After Effects? Do you have like pre-made assets that are primarily in After Effects and that's why you're using them, and you can easily I think like animating like people and stuff is a bit easier in After Effects, but so you're making stuff in Cinema 4D and then you're compositing in Resolve. Do you use the standalone Fusion to do a lot of that, or are you just going right into Resolve and using Fusion in Resolve when you need it? Oh, we have a specific just Fairlight user. Interesting. Because I have covered almost nothing on Fairlight. So that's interesting. Although I might have something coming up where I'll actually be in Fairlight a little bit. Fusion for me. Looking at After Effects replacement. Okay. I guess you also could use motion. I don't really know much about motion, but if you're looking for a replacement for After Effects, you obviously have Premiere, but I think the other one's called Motion. That's that Apple makes. I don't know much about it though, because I've never used it. Okay. Cutting up live stream footage and making a couple little animations here and there in Fusion. All right. Editing, coloring. I am getting behind on this. Still using After Effects. All right, so here's another question that I have for you, the guys that are still using After Effects for motion graphics. If there was audio in Fusion, would you use Fusion? Because for me, with motion graphics, if you're like getting it to go to like music or something, it'd be so much easier if you could actually hear the music. I still don't understand why that's not implemented, because the standalone Fusion, it's there, but what's going on, Jamie? So we have a lot of editing, a lot of Fusion stuff. It seems like there's some people that use Fairlight. I need to step my game up on the Fairlight thing. Yeah, maybe he can teach me a thing or two. I could do some amazing Foley in Fairlight, but outside of that, I'm kind of rough around the edges. Okay, I need something without lyrics. Gotta go back to that other project I was working on. Yeah, a waveform or something. Fusion's too slow for me to enjoy it. What about Fusion is too slow? Is it just like the rendering is too slow? Or when you're making changes from node to node, it's too slow? Because one thing that I could recommend is if you have a decent sized node structure, what you can do is you can cache different nodes. So you could, have maybe 30 nodes, and then the last node that goes into the stuff you're actually working on, you could cache from that node. And then the only thing that has to be processed is the stuff after that. So the stuff after that is the only stuff that you're going to be calculating, which would increase it. So while you're working on it, you can just click and cache node. And then once it goes through that node again, it'll cache all of it. So it's not always starting from the beginning of the node tree and recalculating everything all the way through. Not because audio based. I do timing in the edit. I export my effects. Use Fairlight for podcast. I want to be a part of a podcast. I need to find an idea and then find a couple of people to do a podcast with. All right, the vast amount of templates. So what you're saying is that I need to make templates a little faster to make that, to make it a bigger selection on the internet. I got it. All right, so everyone here, well, no, I don't want to say everyone, but a large portion is into editing, Fusion. It seemed like it was almost 50-50 for people that use color versus Fairlight, which is kind of weird. Maybe it's because I made a comment about Fairlight, but I think I'll still do color though, just because I'm significantly more familiar with that. And possibly Fairlight. I mean, it sounds like I'm just going to be going through every page. So if everything is still the way it is on YouTube will promote 2 videos a day. After that, they don't promote for another 24 hours. So I'm going to see if I can do it and not just put out crap, but see if I can produce like some good stuff for all the new updates that will be talked about next week. But I'm hoping that the PDF for the new update will be with the new update, because I know when DaVinci Resolve 16 first came out, they didn't have it all out, and that's kind of where I get the majority of my information from. So hopefully they have that out, and then I can play with it for a couple of hours. All right, so thank you for the 5. I need to make my stuff more polished. My idea here was that I was going to make stuff for the stream, but the chat's kind of going, so I'd rather talk to you guys than actually get this work done. I'm procrastinating, but it's okay, because there's exciting stuff hopefully next week. If you guys are just jumping in, next week Blackmagic is going to be talking about the big new update for Resolve 17, and after this comes out, probably for like the next 2 weeks, I will be making videos on all the new updates once I get a good grasp on everything that has been implemented, and I can put together some good stuff. So I'll be super excited. So they did a big email campaign for this, because I first seen it on Twitter. And then once I feel like I see everything on Twitter first. Once I see it on Twitter, then I promote it to my Facebook group and my Facebook page. If you guys don't know, down in the description, there is a link to a Facebook group. It's called How to, oh gosh, can I close a lot of this stuff? It's How to DaVinci Resolve. There's currently 8K members in there. People ask, except for this, people ask questions, and the community helps pretty quickly. So if you need help and you're in a pinch, you could ask your question on there, and someone should be able to help you out. Because I know like some other, if you email Blackmagic directly, or if you send me a message or something, I can't always get to it. So sometimes some of these communities are a little bit quicker, since there's a bigger or a larger group of people on there. All right, I feel like I skipped over a couple of people. Yeah, I don't know exactly what my podcast would be about. would be about, I know that I'm going to, well, with the stream, things are getting kind of interesting because I'm kind of excited to do streams more often now. This is going to be my 4th one today, even though it's not going to be as long as the other ones were. But talking with people in the streams, I've come up with a bunch of ideas that I'm going to start doing. I was going to start doing them, but then DaVinci Resolve 17 is now, it seems like it's going to be announced and all the updates are going to be talked about. So I'm going to do this for a little bit, and then once everyone has a good grasp on all the new updates, I'm probably going to switch over to making content. It's kind of around like filming something, making it look cool in DaVinci Resolve, maybe adding some type of something in using Fusion, throwing a little bit of audio in there, and showing how to promote something, or I don't really know what the content's going to be about, but excited to do that kind of stuff. So yep, DaVinci Resolve. So people on Twitter have been asking, does this mean that it's going to be available? And no one, obviously, Blackmagic never responds. But what I can say is, from history, what Blackmagic typically does is whenever they announce something, towards the end of their announcement, they'll say, and this is available on the site right now if you want to go get it. So we'll see if they actually do that. I'm kind of guessing that they will. I don't know, but we'll see. Oh my God, I just bought 16. All right, so everyone that's in here that is thinking about buying DaVinci Resolve or has bought DaVinci Resolve in the past, it's perfectly fine. Every update, big release, small update, whatever, have been free for anyone that owns a license. So if you bought DaVinci Resolve 14 many years ago, every new big release has been free. So your license will still work in all of the new versions. So don't be concerned with making sure you buy it, when the new version comes out. Your license will continue. So I don't know how the whole Fusion license thing works. I've heard people say that own the dongle, so it's like a little USB device. People that said that own that, they can use it in Fusion Studio and they can use it in DaVinci Resolve Studio. But if you own a license key, like the card that you get that has like a number on it, you can install that on 2 systems at the same time. So I guess that's what the difference between it. You either get the ability to use both versions, or can you already update to 17? I'm guessing that you can't until it gets released. I don't think that there is an update. I'll go and I'll try it, but I don't think so. Check for update. Nope. But yeah, if you have the dongle, people have been saying that you can use both Fusion Studio and DaVinci Resolve Studio, but if you have the license, you can't, but the license allows you to have it installed on 2 systems at once. So the 2 machine stuff, is that the same project? Or so 2 licenses, so it'll be 2 computers that can do whatever they want. With Studio, there's a whole bunch of collaboration tools, so 2 people can be working on the same project at the same time. You can do remote renders because you have 2 licenses, so you can have your main computer and then maybe you have a crappy computer and you just want it to render stuff, so that your main computer you can always be working on. So you could set up that other computer with a license, and then just send all of your projects to that computer to render. Or if you have two computers, you could have two people doing different things in the same project. So you could have one editing and then one color grading the timeline at the same time. And there's like a chat system, and there's a ton of different things. I briefly talked about it, but on their website they have more in-depth information about how the collaboration stuff works. And the collaboration stuff doesn't have to be in one location. Yeah, so when you're doing like a remote render, what would have the other computer would need to have all the same ability to access the same stuff. So if you had footage, you would probably want to make it on something that both systems can have access to. So like a NAS system or something like that. The fonts obviously would have to be the same, and so forth. So, but a lot of that stuff you can kind of set up automatically, so that it copies from one to the other, using other tools, but not DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, so I did one. The guy asked about end-to-end projects and me doing videos on it. Yeah, so I did the one about the barbecue sauce and made like a whole thing with pulled pork sandwich and all of that. How I set up the lighting, the camera that I use, the lens, how to get depth of field and all of that stuff. Some people that obviously that watch my channel don't need that information, but some people enjoy it. So doing the streams a couple of times now, it seemed like there was a lot of interest in that kind of content. So I'll probably, after all of the DaVinci Resolve 17 content out, I'll probably jump into doing some of that stuff. So I don't have any music videos to edit. It would be hard for me to make it a how to edit them. And in the past, I've tried to make a video that kind of talks about different techniques that one video is doing over another one. But some of my content got flagged, even though I feel like it falls under fair use. I wasn't listening to any of the music, and I'm just giving information, I'm teaching. So it's not like the piece of work is... I don't know. It seemed like it fell under fair use. I just didn't want to fight it, so I kind of shied away from doing that kind of stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens going into 2021 with being able to do that kind of stuff. Because I don't live far from where a lot of music videos are filmed on the East Coast. So maybe there might be some opportunities if this, this whole pandemic is under control by then. I don't know that there is a DaVinci Resolve 17 already available on their web server. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't see why DaVinci Resolve 17 wouldn't be free. If it's not free, you'll be hearing a lot of community complaining. Because the whole reason why I made my YouTube channel and I did what I did is because I really liked what Graham, how he promoted it. So I think like it would be a bad idea for them to not have a free version. I think it will be. Or excuse, why did I say Graham? Grant. Anyways. Am I shooting on the 12K? No, I do not own one of those cameras. If I found a use case, I would buy one, but currently I don't. I don't have a use case. Although I do want to learn more about the how the sensor works with different resolutions that aren't the 12K. Because from my understanding, they're doing a lot of really cool, unique ways of using the sensor and processing the image at different resolutions. That isn't common, so I'd really like to learn more about that. That stop the when you go into like a different resolution, a lot of cameras they'll skip pixels, and when you skip pixels, you'll get significantly more what's referred to as moire, which is like if you look at like a brick wall, it'll look like the lines are kind of moving a bit, or if you're looking at someone that has like a striped shirt, it just looks kind of off. And supposedly the way in which that they're processing highly reduces that effect. Do I have a good gaming PC build? I'm not sure. Like a computer build? I kind of build my computer around, well, I mean, I need to build a new computer, but I kind of build it around what would be best for editing. And then from time to time, I might play games on it, but I don't know what you're talking about, not being able to undock windows. Look at this. I can go like this and pull up my script. Look at that. That's an undocked window. Or you could come over to the color page, and you could come into here, and then you could go, oh God, how do you do it? I forget. Boom, it's undocked. No, I'm just kidding. I know exactly what you mean though. I kind of wish that they had more things that were like that. But currently they don't. I wish there was more customization and not just, being able to turn different parts of the UI on or off. What's going to be new in 17? If you knew that, then, let me know. Call me Jup. Someone in here called Jup? The free version has a lot of the tools that, almost anyone would need. DaVinci Resolve Studio does have some stuff that some people would really like the HI264 decoder and how lightweight it is compared to using the OS version, and how fast and snappy it is. Since I know a lot of people use like mirrorless cameras and use that, there are some things like that. There are some things on the color page, I believe, and there are quite a bit of tools on the Fusion page as well that are studio only. But you could get the job done with the free version for sure. Well, you can watch how does my GTX 1070 work. It works pretty well. I want to get into doing more Blender stuff. And so my processor GPU situation with all the new graphics cards that have just come out this year and the new processors that have come out, I'm ready for an upgrade. That's for sure. But it gets the job done. So the end of the day, it gets the job done, and that's all that really matters, right? The computer I have now, can I send the build? It's in the description. Everything that I'm currently using. Do I think Blackmagic will step up Fusion? So DaVinci Resolve and Fusion are completely different, or two completely different teams that work on both of them, and now they kind of have to work together. And what's kind of funny is on the forums, it seems like a lot of Fusion questions are ending up in the Resolve page, but I think we'll see a lot more updates in Fusion probably over the next year or something, because I feel like the big updates now are going to just be in DaVinci Resolve as a whole, and then because now we're going to be into the third iteration of DaVinci having Fusion, and I feel like at some point then there's going to be a bigger community that's now using Fusion, and that bigger community is going to want more things out of Fusion. And yeah, it just takes more people using Fusion for all these different things. Like the stuff that I show on my channel, a lot of the tools that we're using are really just set up for compositing, but we kind of make it work. But there's a lot of stuff like I have talked about, and I feel like once we learn about everything that comes out in DaVinci Resolve 17, after we do all the videos for DaVinci Resolve 17, there'll probably be a video about the things that we wish we would have seen in DaVinci Resolve 17. And I feel like there's going to be, I made a joke about this a couple years ago about how once the newest version comes out, so Monday we learned about DaVinci Resolve 17, I guarantee you by the end of the day, that day, there will be a forum post on Blackmagic's website, feature request for DaVinci Resolve 18. I guarantee it. It always happens that way. The same day, a couple hours after, the big announcement, instead of people exploring, what hasn't been talked about, because there's typically a lot of updates that they never get to say. They just want to highlight the good ones. That people just go right there and they start to say that they want all these other things, and that post becomes really, really long. You wondered how long Fusion and Resolve would be two separate products. So there are still some things that the standalone Fusion Studio has that the Fusion in DaVinci Resolve doesn't have. When it comes to like large like render farms and stuff like that, and the ability to like a lot of the settings in Fusion settings, like these settings here in the tweaks, from my understanding, these don't even do anything. I could be wrong, but they don't seem like they do anything. And there was something else in here too. I feel like in the tweaks there should be like a whole window that you can put in other information too. I could be wrong though on that. At least back when I was like trying to get something to work. I forget what exactly it was, but nothing in there was actually doing anything. What do Blender nodes do that differs from Fusion nodes? I'm not sure I follow there. How often do they listen? You'd be surprised. there's a lot of things that they listen to. It might not seem so. What they typically do is if you go on the forums and you make like you state an issue, or you're like you want to see something happen. If there becomes like a group of people that follow behind and that also want to see that happen, if there's enough interest, they'll put resources into making that actually happen. Oh shit. But yeah, what are the things that the Blender nodes do that the Fusion ones don't do? Just connecting and I mean, shortcuts like what? I'm not sure I follow. Like stuff that auto connects, like when you go like that, it already connects a merge and everything's connected up correctly. Or you can hit shift spacebar and you can just type something in when you have it when you have it selected and it's already connected. Not sure I follow. And then you also have, if you don't have anything, you also have the ability to have an option, so you can go into the correct one. Maybe I just haven't used Blender to fully understand what you mean by that. Are you talking like that, what is it, Node Wrangler or whatever? Oh, yeah. But all that does is it connects up a bunch of nodes that you, from my understanding, it just connects up a bunch of nodes that you would typically need for like if you're making like materials and stuff like that, because that's all that I really know about it. What's some stuff that people are hoping to see in the new Resolve? Be able to separate the windows, so like pop them out, move them around as you want. Maybe they snap together then. Yeah, I would like something like that. And then you would be able to come up to, where is it? Like layouts, and then you'd be able to save it. Like once you had it all figured out, you'd then be able to go in there and save it. That would be kind of cool. I forget what the font was that I'm looking for. So people really want to know about all of the editing stuff, the fusion stuff, the color stuff. Didn't really seem like people really care about the cut page improvements. I might highlight that or just make like a video kind of skimming over them. And then some people want to know about Fairlight stuff. I'd be curious if they do something with adding more codecs to render into. That would be pretty interesting to see. It does. So DaVinci Resolve has the ability in here. You can go into dual screen, right? You can turn that on. And what that does is it's not the dual screen how you think it is, but it'll take all of your tools and it splits them onto two screens. So you would have like, when you come over to your edit page, you'll have some stuff here and then like your media pool and that stuff will be on the other screen, right? So then you would be able to kind of see a little bit of both. And then if you have the studio version, the other thing you can do is you can come into here to clean feed, and then it'll take whatever your primary preview monitor is, and it will display that as a full screen on another monitor. The clean feed also works within Fusion as well, so it'll show all of it on Fusion as well. I did a thing about that a little while ago because that was quite a while ago that all happened. So this was, I mean, if you can see behind this image, but here is like the project that I was working on, and then over here is like a full screen of the Fusion, because first it didn't have the Fusion thing in here, and I was like, what the heck? It has it. And then the other thing that it also it has this as well. So this is the full screen. So let's say you're on the color page, you can see it on the other monitor. The only caveat that I have to make with this is an image that's being processed by your graphics card. So depending on what your graphics card is, your graphics card could compress the image down to 8-bit going to the monitor. So that's where using like the Ultra Studio, I don't know if you've ever heard what the Ultra Studio equipment is, but using the Ultra Studio equipment, it'll take the signal directly from DaVinci Resolve, process it through the Ultra Studio, and then go to a monitor. So it doesn't have the compression that the graphics card would give it. Typically when you go down that route, that's kind of like bigger budget stuff, like when you have like a really high-end grading monitor, like pretty much like 30 grand and up kind of monitors, where that would become like a true thing. But for now, and this is the difference between these, so during the beta it was just called full screen viewer on, and then you could pick a display, and then they changed it to this clean feed view, or video clean feed, and then you could pick a display. So you have that, but that's only in this whole option is only in Studio. But you can have all of those. So if you had 3 monitors, you could do dual monitor with all of your tools on 2 monitors, and then pick the third monitor. You could have go to this clean feed if you wanted to. So those are the options that you have with multi-monitor setups. So the whole crashing thing, a lot of people have been saying that they have a lot of crashing, and I personally don't really get a lot of crashing. A lot of the times it comes down to the stability of the computer. So I know like some people like to overclock their computers. Maybe you just have an unstable overclock. Some people don't like do the updates. The other thing that I would recommend, if you have an NVIDIA card, and you get the NVIDIA drivers, This isn't the website that I wanted to go to. Here, this one. When you go to the NVIDIA website and you get their drivers, this download type, switch this to Studio Driver. Studio drivers are specifically made for programs that you do like video editing and stuff like that. Stuff like workstation stuff. But it'll work with the NVIDIA cards. They have 2 different types of drivers. Have I used... No, I haven't used any third-party particle systems. I don't use anything third-party. If I'm doing particles outside of just the particles that are in DaVinci Resolve, or excuse me, Fusion, I would just go to something that actually does like simulation. So honestly, for me, I would just go into Blender and do like the whole simulation there. And the results that you can get out of like the new Blender stuff for particle systems is pretty crazy. If I'm doing like kind of like simulation stuff, at least. In-depth tutorials on rotoscoping. Oh man, that's rough, man. I don't know how people rotoscope as a full-time job. But we could do like different things. How you can rotoscope without actually having to have like animated masks and stuff like that, or we could use image data to help with the like rotoscoping accurately. But yeah, rotoscoping in general is very freaking time consuming. Some people sit, you know, ugh. Mocha is kind of the go-to. So, but then on the flip side of that, not everyone can, get a license. So, I kind of get why some people would want to do it just in Fusion. Not everyone's boss will buy them all the fancy stuff. It really does kind of suck. All right, where was I? I'm still trying to find a font. Oh, one thing that it would be cool to see, if this drop down for each name, if the name was in the font. That would be cool. But I guess you should just know the fonts. Here's the real question. If Monday, if the DaVinci Resolve is, it seems like a cool thing, who's going to upgrade? Or are people going to wait to see what other people have to say about stability and performance? Because I feel like I want to upgrade my computer, But then I kind of want to keep this computer as well so that I always have like not a brand new computer to try the software out on and say like, okay, well, using this system, it's run like this. And is After Effects open source? Far from it. DaVinci Resolve is definitely not open source either. There is not a single repository that you can download the source code and compile it yourself. Okay, so it seems like a lot of people are going to be very hesitant in getting it. Sounds like I'll be everyone's guinea pig for the new release. I hate when you make a project with a font and then you don't remember what the font is. And then it takes you forever to try to find it. None of these names look familiar. That's not it. I'm hoping that I can have something shortly after the announcement. But it's going to be one of those mad rushes to get something together. Oh, I forgot to say. I'm guessing some of you guys are having like the whole quarantine thing, right? How's that going over in Europe? Like wave 2 of the quarantine. Guessing that kind of sucks. No better time to get the new software, right? And play with it. Oh, yeah, I don't remember what the name of that one was. I do have one that's kind of like that because I made that kind of like I'm doing now, but I made that one video. Actually, this is another renderer that they should have. So that would be my feature request if I had to have one. Is having the what the heck is the name of that renderer called? FFmpeg. But I did this video with that font because I did a wipe, and having the FFmpeg encoder would be freaking amazing to have it in Resolve, because then you can make you could make all of the WebM files that people would use in like OBS and stuff like that. And Adobe actually implemented the encoder into Premiere, so they can just output these files, and these files are crazy small, and they have alpha. So I forget, in this video I show it, but I forget the file difference in size. So it took almost a gig file and it made it almost 2 megs. That is crazy difference. Both same resolution, pretty much the same quality. But I remember I recently, well, not recently, a couple months ago, I showed someone like how you do this. And a lot of people, when they see command line, they don't know what's going on. So I could see how following this video could be kind of complicated. But if some really polished front end, program did it, then you could make it look really nice. And maybe I could make it into like a nice encoder, but that's definitely not a project that I want to. It's in Premiere. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's obviously everything has a license and it's different for everything. But Premiere has it. I know YouTube uses it, but it might be a patent thing. I don't know if Blackmagic would know that there are people that are interested in it. I've never said anything because I was like, oh, I can just do it this way. But then I remember showing another streamer that this was like, it existed and how to do it and how to take these really big files and make them small. And when I showed him, he was like, what? Like, he didn't really understand. It's not that difficult once you figure it out. But yeah, so. And then if anyone wants it, boom, right there is the command that you have to run. It's not that difficult. Watch the video, run that command, and then you have really small files that you can put into your OBS or any program that you're using to stream with that supports WebM, since that's like the new fancy thing to use. Old Town. That is definitely not what I want. This is rough. All right, we're going to go through this whole thing one time and find this font that I want. Does anyone have any questions for me? Trying to look for anything I can do so that I don't have to be working on this. I don't use any type of like program to make like complex macros, or I just use the built-in stuff in Fusion, if that's what you're talking about. Did I really go through the whole thing? Oh, that's frustrating. I want to try to find the... When you try to find something that you've used previously. No, definitely not. I use Google Fonts for when I download new fonts. Unless there's something super specific. Like, this was the only font that I actually... hold on, let me open up Visual Studio and I'll show you. This is the only font that I've ever like picked up that wasn't a free font. The only one. But outside of that, everything else I get is like free fonts. What the font? What happened? Oh wait, this went to my fonts. Is What the Font a website? When I search What the Font, it goes to my fonts. Is that where I'm supposed to be going? I don't even see anything. Oh, I see, I see. I have to drop it in here. I see, I see. Can I do that? Oh, I gotta download it. Okay. Save. Hold on a second. PC. That's interesting. Desktop. Okay. There it is. Boom. Drop it in there. See what this says. No font. What? It didn't. What? Okay. Your website's not working for me. Hold on. Let me. I think it's because it's transparent. It's a white font on a transparent background. We'll fix this. Okay. I'll just need to put it on a black background, right? Boom. Put the black background behind. Oh. Export. Sure. Desktop. Okay. Let's go back to this. This is a lot of work. Boom. Okay. Go. What is this? It's none of these. Because my J doesn't go in like that. This is like the closest thing, but my R is flat on the bottom. And I definitely didn't buy any of these. Or the one that I used. Oh, here's a flat one. No. That's interesting. I never knew that this existed though. That's pretty cool. If anyone can figure out what this font is, I can't really offer you anything, but yeah, that's the only font that I ever picked up. I have the font, like I just don't remember what the name of it is. It's somewhere in here. I have a lot of them that look very similar. No, wait. Is my whole thing capitalized? It sure is. Let's actually, you know, start at a correct playing field here. Nope. What am I listening to? No, we need to skip. We don't need to talk. Is that it? Nope. What's going on? I do, but I have it already all pre-rendered out, and I just I never have to remake it. It's already like pre-rendered out though. But I want to manipulate this one, so I need to know like what the font is. I might have it written in a folder somewhere. Like what the font was. Is that it? I think that's it. That's definitely it. Dope. Okay. I found it. All right. Okay, so how do I want to display this? The other issue I have is I need to figure out what my background color is too. Whoops. In the DevTools, is there a color picker? Or do I need to install one? Is there an easy way to see color picker? I guess I could get it over here, huh? Or am I completely off base here? Is there a way to automatically get the color? Oh, is that it right there? That can't be it. That is like not the same color. That's like just black. Did I not copy it? No, that's just black. Everyone write it down. I forget how to pull a color off of a page. Alright, you know what? I know the way better way than doing all this crap. We can just go paste. And we'll move this over here. I'll just open up another one. Grab a color. Boom. That's all I need. That's all I wanted. There we are. Yep, that's exactly what I did, screenshotting it. Oh gosh, that was horrible. What? Okay, that's not how I want to do that then. Oh, I want to go into here. What am I looking at? Might be a bit much. Why is his strength so high? Oh, crap. Whoa. What happened? Okay, why is this one messed up now? If you guys could ask for one thing in Resolve 17, what would it be? I'd like to see ProRes encoding on Windows, but damn, it's my piece. I think the ProRes thing is all a licensing thing, and because it's a Windows system, that's why you're not able to do that. I'm pretty sure, at least. I have no idea what Power Toys is. Do I even want to look that up? What in the world is this? I have no idea what this is. I would have to look into this more. I have absolutely no idea what this is. They're talking about like PowerShell and stuff. But then I look at these like pictures of things. Yeah, I have to. There's a color picker. Oh, I see. I have no idea what this thing is having an issue with. Why isn't this one working? Can't get parameter for center. No, wait, did I delete something? That wouldn't allow center? So this was publishing center. So this should be getting a publish center, right? So if I just do that, then it's fine, right? Okay. So that's, whoa. All right. Is this thing like not updating now? Oh. Alright, we're gonna get rid of that. Bring these down. Yeah, it was a bit confusing when I first seen that. I was like, what in the world is he expecting me to do here? Alright, so then we got all of that. That ends right about here. Can you do a wiggle text effect? Like, to get it to shake? Yeah, I'll show you. So you can either do it, I mean, I'm guessing that's what you mean by wiggle, right? I'll do it on this, just because, actually, I'll just do one after, just so you can see, but yeah, you can. There's two different, you could do perturb or you can do shake. They both just have different types of parameters for it. But if I went into shake, then I would set the min and max. So I could do like, just so it doesn't move much. Middle is going to be 0.5. So, and you can set this on the X or Y. So if I just make this 0.5, 0.5, then come down here, make this like 0.4, 0.6, right? Just so it's a little bit. When I play this, we can see like it's doing that. And then if you want to, you can reduce the smoothness. So it would go more. I think that's what you mean, at least. Or you could do like 0.45 and 0.55. So it's a little less on that shake. You could obviously, you know, remap this to go in here so it makes sense. So that the background's not moving. Is that what you mean by shake? Oh no, my OBS. Oh, it's just my camera. Right? There we are. That's so weird. Only some days it does that. I think I need to restart. I thought that it was because the one day I was recording on my computer as well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what causes it. Maybe I just need to restart my computer every once in a while because I don't ever do it. Changing the form of the font. I don't know what you mean by the form. What do you mean by form? Like a shear? Like shifting it? Gonna go like that? Wow, 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 wow. Or like that. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could do, because I'm using the follower, you can do the same thing in the shading here, and I could get it to go from 0 to 1. All right, let's turn off this whole thing here. Oh geez, I have so much stuff moving. Let's just view this. Like that. Is it a YouTube video? If it's a YouTube video, just post the just the end. So so on YouTube, if you go, because at least from my understanding, to enable me to have links enabled, I need to enable links on my whole channel, which means people would be able to post links in the yeah, perfect. You know exactly what I meant. Okay. So that honestly just looks like, if you're talking about the animation, I mean, there's a couple of things going on, but the animation of the text itself, that just looks like it's a mask. I mean, there's like a little bit of like wobble, so to redo that, I would show it on my channel or on stream, but the last YouTube video that I showed on, I got like flagged for, so it's pretty lame. But you would just do something like this, and then the height, it just goes in, and then over a certain amount of time, it opens up, right? Like that. And then you could do, in the point here, I could do like perturb, and then come into those settings here and change this to like 2. I think that's all I need, right? Yeah, it's just like, oh gosh, okay. That one goes a lot slower. But it's something like that, I think. Oh, hello. There's another one. Hold on a second. Okay, so that hello one is just, how would I do that? So you would do a transform, and you would do a fast noise. Sorry, I can't show this. Actually, you know what? Screw it. That little bit I can probably show on screen. That's all he's talking about, right? So to do that, we take some fast noise. Let's scale this. Something of that nature. And then have this go into here, into here. Let's turn off that movement. And in here, we can make this like, oh God. Crap, I did this. How did I do it? It goes into there. Oh, no. We need to displace. There we are. Yeah, get out of here. This goes into here. And, fuck, I forget how a displace works. That doesn't go into here, does it? Yeah, it does. Okay, and then you come into here, you turn this speed up. And we look at it, and boom. There we are. Got some wobbly text. Obviously, it's going way too fast, but there you go. Follow along. How are you doing today, Daily? Yeah, I do remember you were talking about the, and then the smoke animations with text and getting the text to emit from the smoke, or getting the smoke to emit from the text, and getting the text to like kind of like deflate. You're very welcome. So we take the text, we go into a displace node, right? And then we use a fast noise to get the randomness. And then depending on if it's a bright pixel or a dark pixel, states how much the like warpingness would happen. This is a cool effect if you ever needed to make like a road, like the heat coming off of the road, and you needed the image to kind of have that wavy effect. Or if you had like a car is like pulling up, and then like the heat coming out of like the front of the radiator and stuff, like you could do this, obviously toned way down for it to be a little bit more real, but yeah. Okay, so let's go back to what I was doing, because I don't even remember, because I kind of canned everything. Okay, so we had, oh god, we have stuff moving everywhere. Alright, so let's just undo that for now. And this is just, it comes over. Alright, so while it comes over, where is the... What is doing this move? Oh, this is doing the move. I thought that was going the other way around. Pay attention to your nodes. Why do we need that transform there? We don't. Okay. So over this duration, it's doing that move. So let's have it start here. Try something a little different. We'll go start it at 0 and have it come on like that. We'll add in that, and then let's have it go the other way too. And the other thing we can do is we can also add an offset so that they're sliding, but then they're sliding even more. An offset, and then here we want this to go. Okay. But in here we have displace. We only want to edit displace. And we'll bring that up a bit. Okay. How far off the screen are they actually showing? Okay, they are kind of showing like... So how do I change these timings? So I think what I do is I turn that off, and then I take all this and just scoot it in just a little bit. Nope. Wait, what did I just do there? I moved it way past 0. Okay, that might work. That means I gotta add motion blur into here. Because it's my work, I'm gonna bump the motion blur up on that quality. There we are. It's looking better. And now I need to add a little bit of like, I only have a little bit of time here because I gotta go for dinner here shortly, but see what we can do on this little bit of time. Okay, so not entirely sure how I want to do this. Alright, so all of this comes in. Maybe here. This is going to take me a while to figure out exactly how I would want to do this. Keyframe. Keyframe. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. And then, actually no. Bring it back. And we'll keyframe again, but then come back to here and keyframe a little bit of a move like that. Right. Alright, that looks like total trash. So I'll move this way over here. Alright, and then all these freaking letters aren't the same height. The A's are taller. Interesting. All right. What is going on here? Oh, that's just so much bigger. Do I think ProRes RAW support's gonna come? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. Because I'm guessing that there's a lot of licensing behind that. I did see that petition. Someone asked to post a petition in my Facebook group, and I said, yeah. Go to dinner? It's Friday. I gotta go out and hang out with friends for a little bit this week. Going to a friend's house for dinner. So. Ooh, that looks god-awful. Wonder what that looks like on a full screen. Why does everything look so blurred? Wait a second, wait a second. So this actually needs this, right? How would that work? This goes into here, right? And then in here we go to multiply. Yeah, so it's only that. And then from here, this can go into here. So the only thing that gets blurred is just that area. All that sharp still, yeah. All right, and then we can blur this, and then none of that will get it. Okay. All right, but now that that looks that way, might need to fake that a little bit. Wait a second, I'm so confused. Okay, you know what? We need to de-instance, and do this separately. And de-instance? Okay, so soft edge is de-instance, boom. There we are. Something like that. A little less, and this needs to get a soft edge. The other thing that needs a soft edge is this, actually. It looks terrible. This could... That might look a little better-ish. I don't know, trying to go for something that's a little on the vintage look side. Like this can also get the slightest tint of a yellow. And then we could also add the green into all of this. I can't even see that there's green in there. Power! Oh, no. Grain size, no. I don't know, I'll have to play with it more. But it'll be something. Something like that. COVID fries? Some scan lines, so you would use the TV, I think, has scan lines. Yes, it does. So we do that, boom. And then we got scan lines. Why don't we have a background? Oh, so we would actually want to add this in, add that there, bring this from back here, put this in here. There you go, scan lines. Oh wait, then why is there two things there? What did I mess up here? Oh. Because this should go here. There we are. Bam. And that will never play back until it got cached. Because there's like all that stuff going on. Did I run out of music again? Oh man, that animation looks horrible. Gonzo. I'll have to figure out something to like warp it a little bit. But I want to have like that distress look. I don't know about the scan lines and all that, but I'll figure something out. So I think this weekend I'm probably going to just work on some stuff for the stream. Like, I don't know exactly what yet, but some stuff for the stream. And then come Monday, we're probably going to have that announcement. I forget, what time is it at? Let's go look again. So New York for me, 1 p.m. I don't know if I would have a video done by the end of the day, so it might come out the next morning. It might come out that same day, but it would probably come out the next morning. And then next week it's going to be all about DaVinci Resolve 17 and all the new updates. Hopefully you didn't just come here, because I'm like on the process of I'm about to leave. I'm sorry. So I would have to email them to see if I would be able to do a stream of their stream and not have them flag it on me. I don't see why they wouldn't be okay with that. But the couple of things that I have asked for them in the past, they don't really get back to me very quickly. So, like I remember when I did I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but I did a interview with one of the guys from Blackmagic. Actually, how long ago was that, now that I think about it? That was in September last year. I don't know if you guys ever seen that video. But yeah, now that I'm looking at it, that was from September 2019. But to get that, it was like, took a little longer than I thought it was going to. Okay, so this was back when, no, wait, why does this talk about? Interesting. So I don't know when it's going to be released. Is that on your page? Yeah, that video is. Here, I can give you a link to it. If you're at all interested. But so they're going to, they just keep saying we're going to introduce it, but with all of the past releases of DaVinci Resolve, what ends up happening is they talk about it, and then they always say like, oh, this is now live on our site for you guys to download and play with. So I'm under the impression that tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday, depending on what time zone you're in, that we'll be able to use it. Yeah, I would have to reach out and see what they I feel like if I did a live stream where I was just talking without having their video playing, like the people that weren't following along, that'd be kind of weird. Because I would like to be able to, if I'm going to be talking about it, I'd like to be able to show it and say like, oh, this would be cool if it did this way or that way. But we'll see. If they release it like right after, I might just start up a stream and then start playing around with different things. But we'll see. We will see. That might end up, if that is the case, that might end up into another 10-hour live stream where we just sit there and play around with all this stuff. Although I will need to do stuff in between there, because I do want to make just normal YouTube videos of that stuff, of all the new stuff. So, but yeah, next week is going to definitely be interesting for at least the people that use DaVinci Resolve daily. So I'm excited for it. Curious if they put anything up on here. Every once in a while, sometimes you'll see like a random press release in here. You'd be like, what is that supposed to mean? See, like these random press releases. That's a cool looking studio though. Very different looking chairs. But yep. But yeah, with that being said, I think I'm going to pack it in here. Enjoy a little bit of my weekend before I start thinking of 101 different things I want to do for next week. Yeah, that'd be nice to actually be working in a normal like office building instead of like right now we're all working from home. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks everyone for hanging out with me. I at least have a little bit more insight on what people want to see come next week when all the releases are out, and hopefully I can come up with something that everyone's interested in watching. But that said, I'm out of here. Stay safe, guys. Thanks for watching. Later, man.